Mike's Daily Podcast.
No way.
Oh my God, no way.
It's Friday. Yay. We are so happy here at Cafe Anyway that it's Friday. It's been a long work week because the week before was that Labor Day week where everything got compressed to 4 days. And now we're happy. Ow. I just bumped my head at Cafe Anyway where the ceiling's really low, but the spirits are high.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Because there is lots to bring to you, including Madame Rootabega is going to stop by.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Along with Valentino and Bison Bentley. And we've got his segment, Do You Know Dat? Incidentally, well, I was walking my dog in Podcastro Valley last night, or evening, or it doesn't come back to me very quickly, you see.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
About 6. The sun's going down by like 7:45 now.
Mike's
and the big old moon
Daily
came out.
Podcast.
And there's a picture of that.
Yeah!
On the podcast picture, which we get to right now.
And here's today's podcast picture.
It's a drawing with me and this guy who just walked in.
Hey, Mike, it's a disgruntled fiddle player. Tell you
What?
we're talking about the big full moon there.
Yeah, big full moon.
And that Hillary is gonna die of pneumonia. And Putin will become our president.
No, we don't actually talk about that. Oh, my cricket just went off for some stupid reason. Oh, cricket phones, they make that sound all the time and you can never turn it off. It's wonderful. I've went through all the settings and I can't turn it off. And it just upsets me so. It gets me all up in a
It will give a cell signal.
in a cell signal fuss. You know what? This is getting silly, isn't it? I should get to the point. I was walking Basil the Boxer, and we were walking up a hill in the Five Canyons area. Well, before we got to the hill, we were in the flat area in a neighborhood, walking up to the trail. And I hear this couple behind me. They're probably around my age, a little bit older. And the guy is talking loud like this, and the woman's talking loud like that. Her voice is a little higher because she's more, I don't know, higher voiced. Look who just walked in. Hello, Michael Master. It's Madame Rootabega. I don't have a higher voice. No, you don't. You have a lower voice than mine. It's much lower. Wait a minute. Disgruntled fiddle player, can you explain what's going on?
Yeah, Madame Rootabega came in and she's talking to y'all.
Oh, hi, Madame Rootabega. Michael Matthew, it's wonderful to be here. I hope you are not getting too confused by the full moon. Oh. No, I was confused. I was walking Basil the Boxer in Five Canyons yesterday, and we're coming up to this hill area. It's a very steep hill. And I start walking up the hill, and I realize, oh boy, I'm out of shape. And walking up the hill, I'm like, just wheezing, just trying to get the air in. In fact, even my dog is looking at me like, are we really doing this? And as I've gone up about halfway up the hill's kind of a long thing. Oh, look who else just walked in. And when you get to the top of it, you get a great view of the East Bay, and you can see the bay. You can even see a little bit of San Francisco, the peninsula, even though it's been so hazy lately. Looking out from the East Bay over to the peninsula, you can barely see what the heck is over there, which, is kind of good because there's a lot of stuck-up people over there. They look at us at the East Bay and go, the East Bay. Whoa, the East Bay. Oh, stay over there, East Bay, with your graffiti. Oh. So I'm walking up the hill, I'm wheezing, and those people are talking really loud behind me with a really deep voice and really high voice, and they're talking really loud. And then I'm like, I'm at the top of the hill and I still hear them. They're walking up the hill. They're not wheezing like I am. They're talking at full volume still. Like I'm talking right now. Really loud. I'm sorry, I should talk really softly. See, that's the thing that interested me about this whole thing, was that when I was married, my then wife She didn't like it if I talked really loud like I'm talking now. She liked it when I talked softly. She's like, you gotta talk so. And then she talked really softly, and then I'm going, what? Huh? I couldn't hear her because she was talking so softly. And also because she's 12 years younger than me, and because I am old. And my hearing is shot because I've been in radio for a long, long time. This year, I've been in radio for 30 years. Well, not all the time have I been in radio. I took about 5 years off, and then there was, of course, in the early days, I was still going to college for another 4 years, so I was doing it part-time, but it's been, the first time I interned at a radio station was 30 years ago. More accurate statement, probably. And then this is FF episode 1177. Yesterday, I called the show 7, even though it was 1176, because it's been 7 years since I moved back to the East Bay, or moved back to California and moved to the East Bay. I had never lived in the East Bay before. I had moved away from California, was living in Alabama for 2 years, which I heard somebody got in a car accident with a camel in Alabama. That story is making the weird news circuit. But today we don't have weird news. We have Do You Know Dat, where we will get to an interesting story about, oh boy, how quickly it leaves my mind. Oh, yes, something, a very tragic thing that happened, and we've finally gotten some closure about a mysterious tragic accident that happened a while ago. First, though, what's going on today is the iPhone 7 goes on sale. Probably by the time you hear this, it's gone on sale. It goes on sale at 8 a.m. Pacific time, and that means where I am. So people have lined up for the stupid iPhone 7. They showed this one guy on the news named David Eaton, who was the first in line, I guess, at the store in San Francisco. And it just makes me laugh. Those people make me laugh. Because they're paying way too much for a stupid phone that's probably going to have all kinds of problems with it because it just came out. But people just, they worship Apple. They will go anywhere. They will go to the ends of the earth for that company. They are just, they've drank way too much of the Apple Kool-Aid. Apple Kool-Aid is disgusting. I've had it. It's horrible. Grape Kool-Aid's the best. The fruit punch, actually. Oh, yeah. Big old frickin' pitcher, Kool-Aid pitcher, busting through the wall. And that was a wall here at Cafe anyway, and it's so sad now that it's torn down. Yeah, so those loud people were still talking loud all the way up the hill. I couldn't believe that. Oh yeah, look, so yeah, these guys just walked in.
Hello, Mike. It's Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we both prefer Apple over the other smartphone products out there.
Yeah, Apple's the best. Do you know that? Well, you guys should be waiting in line. Instead, you're going to be behind David Eaton, who's eating all the Apple propaganda. You know, back in the day, I did some modeling. This is the first time I completely forgot that I did some modeling. Back when I was a kid, I don't even know. I might have been like 13 or something. I did some modeling for our Baptist church school that I went to. Yes, I went to a Baptist church school. And one of the Sunday school teachers, I think he was a Sunday school teacher, he said to me, Mike, I'm taking some pictures for our Christian magazine. Would you like to be in it? And I said, sure. And he said, just take your shirt off. No, that didn't happen. But I did. He wanted a picture of me and this girl reading a book. That's all it was. And I remember I had to get permission from my mom, or I had to tell my mom. He said, make sure to let your parents know. So my mom was divorced. We had her move-in boyfriend living with us, Rod, in the 70s with their, what do you call them? Flared jeans, bell-bottom jeans. Yeah, it was the 70s, man. Can you dig it? And so I go, Mom, is that all right? And she's like, well, because I forgot to mention this part. We were living in Van Nuys. So any sort of filming going on in Van Nuys was either the TV show Chips or porn. So she was a little bit, little bit concerned. So she said I guess she basically trusted me, and I went, and it was just a picture of me reading a book with a girl, which, by the way, the girl was someone that I was, I think, in summer class with, or summer camp. The church did this summer camp. They'd take us in the bus to the beach, because the valley is still about an hour from the beach, well, with traffic and everything. Even there was traffic even then. And she was cute. Oh my gosh, I had a crush on this girl. So when I found out I got to do pictures with her, I was so excited. But then it was just pictures of reading a book. And I remember she and I were both looking at this book together. That's what the picture was for. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it was like, kids read. Look, both genders read. And so we're reading together. And I remember, I think she kind of knew I had a crush on her. And oh yeah, she had a pencil in her hand. She was pointing, she was supposed to be pointing to something in the book, like we're both doing homework together. And the word she pointed at while the guy was taking pictures of us was the word false. As if she was saying to me, Mike, it's not real. You and I are not a thing. You and I are not real. This isn't a real relationship. I'm not into you. Or maybe I just read way too much into it. I don't know. But anyway, cafe anyway. That was an interesting, that I completely forgot about that. Anyway. It was long ago. And the magazine did come out, and I did not save the dang magazine, but I remember seeing the picture, and I thought, hey, I look pretty good. And it was long ago, and I had hair, a full head of hair. Beautiful, beautiful hair. It was kind of curly, unruly. I could never comb it. It basically wanted to be a fro. So I didn't figure that out, though, till I was in high school. And then I just let it, get curly, and I got the, what do you call it, the pick, to make it kind of, that's the only way you can manage the curly hair. But I don't know, it's been so long ago. I've forgotten how I managed my hair. But that girl probably became a very famous actress or something. I don't know what became of her. And our one photo shoot for our one picture that was used in a Christian magazine. It's probably long since, the presses have long since closed up and been buried underground. Hey, speaking of Christian stuff and right-wing stuff and whatnot, I have access to today's right-wing agenda email. This came out to all the right-wing conservative radio stations and newspapers and whatnot. Here are the things they want you to talk about. The Fox poll that says that Hillary's lead is down to 1. They want you to talk about the email hack that exposed the truth about Democrats. Also, the NCAA attack of the North Carolina may be helping Governor McCrory. Missouri state senator refusing to stand for the pledge. And a CNN host saying that the Clinton health coverage is sexist. The Black Lives Matter activists that changed their tune after a robbery. And a 22-year-old risking her life to save a neighbor child from a burning house. That's the right-wing agenda today. Oh my gosh, what is this part? Oh, and make sure to say this. Come November, the nation will go to the ballot box to decide if religious liberty, the first liberty enshrined in the Constitution, still matters. Remember that. On Friday, this week's schools that receive any federal aid must observe Constitution Day in order to commemorate the 39 patriots who signed the document in 1787. And other fascinating facts sent to you from the religious right. Interesting, isn't it? Hillary's down to 1. 1 point. 1 point between her and Donald Trump. Oh no. She's going to lose. It's so obvious. Well, I know it's obvious. I can't predict the election. Who knows what's going to happen, but we're still just less than 2 months away, and it's getting very exciting. And that's pretty much it. It's all it. All done. And it's, Mike'sDailyPodcast.com is a wonderful website. Help support us there. We'll be so happy if you go to eat and click on that Amazon link, buy whatever it is you're going to buy on Amazon, and that helps us out, helps support us. There's also the link to the PayPal. If you'd like to donate, that helps us out. And we're very happy. You'll get a special greeting from all the Cafe Anyway characters if you do that, because we'll be so happy. Right now, we're still happy because it's Friday and it's Cafe Anyway. Even though I bonked my head, we're still having a good time. And I bonked it again. Dang it. And then finally, there's the podcast pictures. All the past podcast pictures you can find at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com, and past interviews that I've done with a whole bunch of interesting folk, interesting bands and people and whatnot. All there at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. Okay, time for the segment known as Do You Know Dat?
It's Bison Bentley's Do You Know Dat?
Hey, this is Bison Bentley, and Mike Matthews has a couple of stories that'll make you want to ask yourself, do you know that? Do you know that? Do you know that? Do you know that? Do you know that?
I'm suddenly rethinking the whole why did I wear a hat here at Cafe Anyway thing, because my head is super hot. Oh, and rethinking about coming to work at 5 in the morning. Malaysia said yesterday that a large piece of aircraft debris discovered on the island of Pemba off the coast of Tanzania back in June was indeed from the missing Malaysia Airlines jet MH370. A search of more than 2 years has turned up few traces of the Boeing 777 aircraft. Did I do 4 sevens? 3 sevens that disappeared in March of 2014 with 239 passengers and crew on board soon after taking off from Kuala Lumpur, the Malaysian capital, bound for Beijing. The debris, an outboard flap, will be examined further to see if it can yield any insight into the circumstances around the missing plane. The Malaysian Transport Minister Liao Tiong Lai said in a statement, investigators have previously confirmed a piece of plane debris found on the French island of Reunion. This was back over a year ago in July of 2015 as being part of MH370. They're examining several other pieces of debris found in Mozambique, South Africa, Rodriguez Island, and that's a territory of Mauritius. And that from MSN.com. As we go outside a Cafe Anyway, we're bringing you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. Finally finding a trace of that ill-fated flight. Do you like how I summed that all up? Oh my gosh, my brain is turned off now.